Hi guys, it's Brady. It's okay, Penny. What the fuck? Okay, that was almost bad. Hi guys, it's Brady. So I've been in like a weird storytelling mood, honestly, just because I've been thinking about all this stuff from my childhood, and I was like, why not? I said I wanted to put my entire brain onto this channel, so why not go through a bunch of memories that I've had? So this one in particular is so funny, just because I'm almost convinced that my mom was under the assumption that myself and two of my friends were just these hardcore stoners, and this is like circa 15, 16 years old. It's basically because I would always have these same two friends down all the time, but it was more or less because I would always not demand, but we would go to Walmart all the time, and I'm like, hey, get us like 2 pizzas and, 3 or 4 things of sodies, because, we'll go through them in the entire night. And she's like, okay. But really what kind of sealed the entire thing in was the fact that I swear it was at like 2 and 3 in the morning, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, that we would go to a gas station and get stuff. And then I find out later on that they always closed at 11, like for the last 10 years. So apparently we just really thought it was later. But we would always go on late night walks, once my parents went to bed, then we'd be like, oh, okay, let's walk up to the gas station, let's go grab something. So we'd come home with little snacks and whatnots, but I always feel like my mom was just like, okay, they're going out randomly right whenever we go to sleep, and they come back with food after they already ate pizza and already drank soda. And my mom, I always feel like my mom was just like, I know what's going on. And it really didn't help that, if we were to, wake one of my parents up and they'd come down, we were at the point, we'd be so, I don't even know, high on pizza, fucking drunk off sodies. I don't know. But it was to the point where we were that loopy tired, when you get so tired that everything's funny, your brain just kind of goes everywhere. It's like if you're loopy tired, it's almost the exact same thing as being stoned, I'm told. So, they could come downstairs and I'd be like, hey, Dad. And he's like, can you shut up and go to bed? And I'm like, and it was never, I think back to it now and I'm like, how didn't they, question me? We were literally, crazy. We'd just, sit up all night, we'd drink soda. We would play Guitar Hero most of the night, but then we'd have to stop that because, those guitars were loud. Rock Band tried to come in, innovate, have a little silent thingy. It didn't work because it wasn't good. So we'd always play the Guitar Hero ones, and they were so loud. And I over exaggerated. We were pretty good at Guitar Hero, so I like to over exaggerate and be really strumming on that fucker. So I would always wake them up, and they'd come down, and I'd be like, hey, son, it is 3 in the morning. Dad, you're so good at reading clocks. Okay. Tip-tap-toe back onto bed. But I feel like they never, asked us, because it's they're 15 years old, they're 16 years old, they're not gonna be doing any of that stuff. Which we weren't. But, pot didn't even cross our minds. None of us were high, I swear to God. High on caffeine, I don't know if that's a thing, but we were definitely that. There were other subtleties that my mom would always drop. I love, incense or the shit. I loved incense, and I like candles and all that, but incense was just so cool because you got to watch it burn and watch that little wisp of smoke go off. But I went to go buy them at the mall once, and naturally she was with me because I couldn't drive. I also didn't get my license until I was almost 18, so that's my fault. But I was up there and I wanted to buy incense, and she's like, no, you're not buying incense. And I'm like, why can't I buy incense? And she's like, because if you're lighting them up, I'm gonna assume you're doing drugs. What? This episode is brought to you by my first glass of wine. Oh, God! This episode is brought to you by my last one. Ugh. Ew, is that really what wine tastes like? I had intended on that being, almost a funny thing. Oh, and this is something that my mom, never saw. My mom and dad never saw this. It was just something, between, the 2 friends I was with. My one friend had gotten a muscle milk, which is, it's just a, it's a protein drink, but it's honestly just chocolate milk. It was just so much sugar, the protein didn't really matter in it. But, he drank this muscle milk, sipping this muscle milk, and then, I don't even know, we're a football field away from my house, so he just tiptoes off into this person's yard, and I'm like, yo, Billy, what are you doing? And he's like, looking at the stars, man. And I was like, what? And then the fucker starts spinning at looking up at the sky and spinning and just laughing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it. We're on drugs. This is how it. I don't remember doing them, but we're on them. So I walk over and I start looking at the sky and spinning around. All while this is in someone else's yard. Like it's a road, but then like road, house, yard, road, house, yard. We're in this person's yard, just spinning in circles, laughing at the sky, and then he gets the bright idea to just fall on his back and lay there, and I'm like, oh my god. At this point, I've never been drunk, I've never been high, nothing. Like, I've never been inebriated by anything, so I'm just like, I don't know how to take this. But like, Billy, if you were on drugs, I'd assume this is what you'd be doing. Or Billy, if you were drunk right now, this is probably what you would be like right now. So I had no idea, and that's always something I wish I could have recorded that moment. Just the fact that he's sitting, like both of us, honestly, are sitting there spinning in someone's yard, looking up at the sky. I don't even understand how we weren't on drugs at the time. I'm a little impressed that we weren't. But so yeah, Mom, hopefully you watch this video and know that we weren't high, I promise. Like, honestly, I don't even know if that's a good thing. I think if we were high, it would be a way better excuse, because then we would have we'd have justification for our actions. But no, that was all we had to do. We sat up all night, we played Guitar Hero, we went for a walk, and then we just spun in people's yards. But anyway, that's all for this little video. Like I said, I kind of was in like a half a storytelling. I've been thinking of like a bunch of nostalgic memories and trying to keep track of a shitload of them. So it's probably going to be a bunch of like short little story videos just so I can document all these memories, because there are a lot of memories that my friends and I have shared together that they don't think about anymore, that if they see this, they're going to be like, oh god, like this all happened at some point in time. So all in all, yeah, this has just been a short, fun little video talking about how I assume that my mom must have thought we were just hardcore stoners. So, Mom, I'm sorry, but hopefully, Mom, until the next video I make, Jana.